let's stay in the banking sector, but let's head to South Africa, where Africa's biggest lender by assets, the Standard Bank Group, has reported an uptick in earnings, of course, helped by its focus on the African continent. This, of course, was despite a regional drought, lower commodity prices and poor growth in several countries. Now, according to its results, first half profit dropped about 18% compared to the same period in 2015 when it sold a stake in its UK business. However, the bank said headline earnings, its preferred profit measure, which of course strips out a certain exceptional and one-off items, rose about 4.7%. It also reported $808 million in the 6 months to June 30th. Now, the bank also increased its interim dividend by 12%. While Standard Bank has increased provisions to guard against deterioration in loan quality, as South African consumers come under more pressure, retail bad debts may start to rise in the fourth quarter of 2016. Now, joining me with some insight into this result and, of course, the wider economy, Sumitra Naidu in Johannesburg. Sumitra, welcome to the show. Now, first half profit, according to Standard Bank, dropped about 18% compared with 2015 numbers. Nevertheless, we did see shares up the most in 5 months and a 12% rise in dividends. What really is driving the positivity around these results?
Yes, that's right, Uche. There was a bit of a slide in profits, but overall the results didn't look too bad considering the current weak economic environment. You also have to remember last year's profit was boosted after the bank disposed some of its UK and Brazilian stakes and operations. The market was happy with the raised dividend and also looked at the bank's overall performance. Headline earnings rose almost 5% to $808 million, as you said. In the last year, we saw the group splitting into two divisions, personal and business, and corporate and investment, and that seems to be working well for it. The group also did very well outside South Africa. Its Africa earnings jumped 48%. Some of the losses were offset, but its East Africa operations did very well, and the bank is still moving ahead with its other expansion plans in other parts of Africa. There were a few challenges. The bank took a big hit from a crime. Japanese criminals had intercepted teller machines. There was a loss of around $27 million there. But overall, the bank managed to lift net interest income. Revenue grew at 12%, and it also grew lending. It also saw a slight decline in its credit loss ratio. Uche?
Now, looking at Standard Bank's numbers, Sumitra, what are the expectations for the first half of results in the sector as a whole? Of course, given that South Africa's economy has teetered on a recession and is not expected to grow this year.
It is quite tricky. Consumers are cash-strapped, struggling with rising costs, high unemployment, and zero growth expected this year. Job safety is a big concern. South Africans are staying away from credit and spending. It's been a tough first half. The rand spent most of this year at near record lows against the dollar and pound. We're seeing a recovery now, but we will only see any benefits in the second half of this year if the currency continues to claw back ground. The drought seems to be fading. Weather conditions are expected to change in the positive, and we're seeing some sectors like manufacturing showing some improvement. But yes, all of this we'll have to wait and see in the numbers later this year. There's no doubt that the banks will report some declines for the first half. Some are already warning of increased impairments as customers struggle to pay back loans.
Well, many thanks, Sumitra, of course, for your insights. Sumitra Naidu joining us in Johannesburg.